The fastest way to lose a business you built by hand isn't a bad product or a slow month. It's a number you don't control, moving faster than you can react to it. I'm Drew. This is Main Street Operator. It's Friday, and today it's one operator's 90 days on the edge and a free tool that quietly protects the calendar you can never make more of. Maria Gonzalez built a home goods business in Austin, Texas, the patient way. Bamboo kitchenware and ceramic tableware, sourced from 2 factories she'd vetted herself in Guangdong province, sold through her own online store and 3 regional retail chains. Her numbers were the kind you'd want framed on a wall. Landed cost of $4.80 a unit. Retail price of $14.99, a 68% gross margin, healthy enough to pay her people, restock, and still take something home. For years, the whole machine ran clean. Then the number she didn't control moved. Over the early months of 2026, the tariff rate on her category climbed from 7.5% to 145%. Her landed cost didn't inch up. It went from $4.80 a unit to $11.76, nearly a triple. By February, that 68% margin had collapsed to 21%. And 21% for a business carrying a warehouse lease, 3 employees, and shipping on every order is below the line where you keep the lights on. She wasn't losing customers. She was losing money on everything she sold. And the more she sold, the faster it bled. That's the cruelest version of this problem because the instinct is to push harder on sales, and pushing harder just speeds up the loss. Here's where the story turns, and it isn't a heroic pivot. It's a boring one, done fast. Gonzalez stopped treating the tariff as weather to wait out and started treating it as a permanent input cost, which is exactly what the New York Fed and the trade economists now say it is. First, she repriced. Not a timid dollar, but enough to pull her margin back above the survival line. And she told her 3 retail accounts why in plain numbers before they found out from a shelf tag. Second, she stopped being single-threaded on one country. She put in quotes with suppliers in Vietnam and with a domestic ceramics maker whose unit cost was higher on paper but whose landed cost, after tariffs, was suddenly competitive. She didn't move everything. She moved enough that no single government decision could ever again take her whole catalog to 145% overnight. Third, she cut her slowest moving 15% of products entirely, the ones that never carried the margin to survive a shock in the first place. The lesson isn't that tariffs are good or bad. That's a fight for people who don't have a lease due on the first. The lesson is the thing Gonzalez did that most operators put off until it's too late. She treated the number she couldn't control as permanent and rebuilt everything she could control around it. She repriced before denial cost her the year. She diversified before she was forced to, and she cut the dead weight while she still had the cash to choose instead of the panic to react. 90 days after the margin cratered, she wasn't back to 68%. Nobody in her category is. But she was above her survival line, standing on 3 supply chains instead of 1, and still open while competitors who bet on the policy reversing quietly ran out of runway. Now your tool of the week, and it's for every operation that runs on appointments. Salons, repair shops, detailers, trainers, consultants. It's Square Appointments, and the booking and reminders tier is genuinely free, not a trial. Free for a solo operator with unlimited bookings. You only pay standard payment processing when a customer actually pays through it. Here's what it does. Customers book themselves online, around the clock, off a link or your website, so you're not playing phone tag or losing the person who wanted to book at 9 at night. Then it fires automated text and email reminders anywhere from 1 hour to 3 days out, and it can hold a deposit at booking. Why that matters in dollars. A no-show is pure loss. You can't resell that hour. Text reminders alone cut no-shows by nearly 38% in one widely cited Clara study, and service businesses routinely report 30 to 50% fewer missed appointments once reminders are automated. Setup runs about 30 to 60 minutes. Enter your services, your hours, your reminder timing, and you're live. A small team can move up to the paid tier at around $34 a month, but a solo operator never has to leave the free plan. The move this weekend, set it up, turn on deposits for your most no-show prone service, and let it protect the one thing you can never make more of. That's the week. Maria Gonzalez survived a number she couldn't control by rebuilding fast around the ones she could, and a free tool that stops your calendar from leaking. Monday, I'm back with 3 more stories and what each one should change on your desk. I'm Drew, and this is Main Street Operator. Run the numbers, then get to work.